Hello and welcome to Short Story Scene. I am your host, the storyteller, and here we have a tale called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Chapter 10, Terrain. 1. Sun Tzu said we may distinguish 6 kinds of terrain, to wit: 1. Accessible ground. 2. Entangling ground. 3. Temporarizing ground. 4. Narrow passes. 5. Precipice heights. 6. Position of great distance from the enemy. 2. Ground which can be freely traversed by both sides is called accessible. 3. With regard to the ground of the nature, be before the enemy and the company that raise the sunny spots and carefully guard by the line of supplies, then you will be able to fight with advantage. 4. Ground which can be abandoned but is hard to reaccompany is called entangling. 5. From the position of this sort, with the enemy unprepared, you may sally forth and defeat him. But if the enemy is prepared for your coming and you fail to defeat him, then returning being impossible, disaster will ensue. 6. When the position is such that neither side will gain by making the first move, it is called temporizing ground. 7. In a position of this sort, even though the enemy should offer us an attractive bait, it will be advisable not to stir forth, but rather to retreat, thus enticing the enemy with his own turn. Then when part of the army has come out, we may deliver our attack with advantage. 8. With regard to the narrow passes, if you can accompany them first, let them be strong garrisoned and await the advent of the enemy. 9. Should the army forestall you and accompany a pass, do not go after him if the pass is fully garrisoned, but only if the weakly garrisoned. 10. With regard to precipice heights, if you are beforehand with your adversary, you should accompany the rays, the sunny spots, and there await him to come up. 11. If the enemy has occupied them before, do not follow him, but retreat and try to entice him away. 12. If you are situated at a great distance from the enemy and the strength of the two armies is equal, it is not easy to provoke a battle, but fighting will be your disadvantage. 13. The 6 principles connected with earth. The general who has attained the responsible post must be careful to study them. 14. Now an army is exposed to the 6 several calamities, not rising from natural causes, but from the faults of which the general is responsible, and there are flight, 2. Insubordination, 3. Collapse, 4. Ruin, 5. Disorganization, 6. Rout. 15. Other conditions being equal, if one force is hurled against another 10 times its size, the result will be flight of the former. 16. When the common soldiers are too strong and their officers too weak, the result is insubordination. When the officers are too strong and the common soldier too weak, the result is collapse. 17. When the higher officers are angry and insubordinate, and on meeting and the enemy give battle on their own account from feeling of resentment, before the commander-in-chief can tell whether or not he is in position of fight, the result is ruin. 18. When the general is weak and without authority, when his orders are not clear and distinct, when there is no fixed duties assigned to officers and men, and the ranks are formed in slovenly, haphazard manner, the result is utter disorganization. 19. When a general, unable to estimate the enemy's strength, allows an inferior force to engage a larger one, or holds a weak detachment against a powerful one, and neglects the place picked soldiers in front rank, the result must be rout. 20. These are the 6 ways of courting defeat, and must be carefully noted by the general who has attained the responsibility post. 21. The natural formation of the country is the soldier's best ally. With the power of estimating the adversary, of controlling the forces of victory, and of shrewdly calculating difficulties, dangers, and distances, constitutes the test of a great general. 22. He who knows these things in fighting puts his knowledge into practice. will win his battles. He knows them not, nor practices them, will surely be defeated. 23. If fighting ensure the result in victory, then you must fight, and even though the ruler forbid it, if fighting will not result in victory, then you must not fight even at the ruler's bidding. 24. The general advances without coveting fame, and the retreats without fearing disgrace. Whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service to his sovereign is a jewel of the kingdom. 25. Regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you in the deepest valleys. Look upon them, your own beloved sons, and they will stand by you even until death. 26. If, however, you are indulgent and unable to make your authority felt, kind-hearted but unable to enforce your commands, and incapable, moreover, of the quarreling disorder, then your soldiers must be likened to spoiled children. They are useless for any practical purpose. 27. If you know that your own men are in condition to attack, but are unaware that the enemy is not open to attack, we have gone only half towards victory. 28. If we know that the enemy is open to attack, but are unaware that our own men are not in the condition to attack, we have gone only halfway towards victory. 29. If we know that the enemy is open to attack, and also know that our men are in the condition to attack, but are unaware that the nature of the grounds makes fighting impracticable, then we have still gone only halfway towards victory. 30. Hence the experienced soldier, once in motion, is never bewildered. Once he has broken camp, he is never at loss. 31. Hence the saying, if you know the enemy and you know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know your heaven and know your earth, you make your victory complete. And that concludes our tale, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, Chapter 10. If you like this content and like to support it, please head on to Patreon. That is www.patreon.com/shortstoryscene. And thank you, Jack, for being a patron, and thank you all for listening. See you next episode. Bye.